Hello, investors. My name is Carlos Zapata, CEO and co-founder of ZBRÜ. ZBRÜ is a highly innovative and sustainable San Francisco-based craft brewery specializing in both non-alcoholic and alcoholic beer. The concept for ZBRÜ started a few years ago when my brother and I had the idea of forming a brewing company that catered to all beer lovers without ever compromising flavor or quality. My brother, like roughly 30% of American adults, abstains from drinking alcohol, yet we share a deep appreciation for the art and craft of brewing. We realized that despite the exponentially growing non-alcoholic beer market, there is still a lack of quality, flavorful beer. This is due to the typical methods of removing the alcohol from the brew, such as boiling the alcohol out or pressurizing the brew through a series of tanks to remove the alcohol. At ZBRÜ, we seek to contract microbiologists and engineers to formulate a unique method of brewing that does not produce alcohol at any point of the process for our non-alcoholic beer. Our dream is to produce 2 lines of each beer, a non-alcoholic version and a regular version of each of our recipes to cater to all beer lovers and aficionados. In order to reach our dreams of being the first brewing company to offer both alcoholic and non-alcoholic versions of each of our recipes, we are asking for a $150,000 loan to be paid off over the next 4 years with a 1-year grace period. Thank you, investors, for your time. Cheers. Once again, thank you for listening to our pitch. Now let's get started with the business plan presentation. First off, let's start with who we are. My name is Carlos Zapata, CEO and co-founder of ZBRÜ.
I'm Book Wangratanasopan, the COO.
And I'm Chris Stenseth, the CFO.
The problem, for those who abstain from drinking alcohol for any reason, there's plenty of non-alcoholic beer to go around, just without any real beer flavor. The quality and taste of the majority of non-alcoholic beers are watered down, flat, and unappealing. Our solution? At ZBRÜ, we plan to contract microbiologists and engineers to formulate our unique brewing method that does not yield alcohol at any point of the process for our non-alcoholic lines, without the need for boiling out the alcohol, allowing us to brew exceptional non-alcoholic beers that taste the same as their alcoholic counterpart. Starting off with our pestle and SWOT analysis. In our political view, starting off, the only issue may be the taxation regulation from the government, as well as federal and state laws that in regards of production. For our economic, we are a $79 billion beer industry. We plan to get the slice of the market, and overall, craft brewery is a growing economic force in the market. In our demographic view, we are aiming at primarily male with between the ages of 21 and 44, who makes between $75,000 and $99,000 annually, as well as age range from 50 to 70, white male with an income annually of $100,000 to $150,000, who have decided to hang up their boots and quit drinking beer, but are still craving the taste. In our technological and environmental view, we are a highly sustainable brewery. We source our cans from Novalis in Germany, who manufacture cans using 90% recycled aluminum, as well as our advanced techniques and recipe from our microbiologists and engineers. Lastly, our legal obstacles that we need to go through are such as licensing and trademarks. Moving on to our SWOT analysis. Our strength is that we offers both alcoholic and non-alcoholic brew of each recipe. And our weaknesses may be that we lack experience as a starting company in the brewing business. Our opportunity lies at our non-alcoholic market with a brand new concept. Our threats, obviously our competitors, bravest to mention, and can potentially campaigns against alcohol.
Moving on to our market and competition. Our main competitors are Surreal Brewing Company, who was awarded 2019's World's Best Non-Alcoholic Beer, and Bravis Brewing Company. Both of these companies are located in California and will be our direct competition upon entering the market. Our potential penetration rates for year 1 are shown in the top right corner. For the non-alcoholic market, we anticipate a 2.5% penetration rate, and within the regular beer market, around a 1% penetration rate. As mentioned before, our customers consist of a few different groups. The two main groups are the regular beer drinkers and the non-alcoholic beer drinkers. Within the non-alcoholic beer drinker market, it is broken up into two subgroups that Book mentioned before, who abstain from alcohol for various reasons. We would need unique marketing methods to successfully target these customers, as the methods of reaching them most effectively will vary based on age and other demographics.
Now on to the financials. We're rolling out 2 initial flavors, Alec's non-alcoholic red IPA and Los's alcoholic version. Our expected retail prices are $15 and $16 respectively. We've calculated our break-even analysis for the business, and we found that we need to sell approximately $39,700 a month to break even. This equates to about 2,500 units a month. Our expected overhead is a little over $1,200 a month, and all 3 founders have opted to take $0 of draw until the company becomes profitable. This is our estimated path to profitability, and it shows our expectation that ZBRÜ can become profitable within the first year. You see a dip at the end in November, where we expect to use some of our profit to repay our initial investors.
Manufacturing. For production, starting off with our suppliers, tanks and other equipment such as canning lines, refrigeration equipment will be purchased from ZBRÜ, while ingredients and supplies will be sourced from our online supplier, morebeer.com. We plan to do a monthly inventory management where we will be purchasing supplies on a monthly basis. Moving on to our technology, like mentioned before, we are 90% recycled aluminum cans from our packaging supplier, Novalis. And we plan to do a brewery within our warehouse with advanced brewery techniques from our experts. For our insurance, there will be 2 insurance coverages that we will be purchasing: the equipment breakdown coverage and the business property coverage. The equipment breakdown coverage is to repair or replace damaged machinery or equipment that has suffered a mechanical or electrical failure. And our business property cover is to ensure our warehouse safety for emergency reasons, such as fire or earthquakes.
Moving on to management. At ZBRÜ, we have 3 fundamental pillars of our business: sustainability, transparency, and quality. Starting with sustainability, we strive to be a highly sustainable company, from the means of production to the cans, down to the way we manage our employees. As for transparency, we want to be as open and honest with our employees, suppliers, and customers to foster strong relationships with everyone we are connected with, while keeping the earth first. Lastly, we demand quality in every facet of our business, from the work put into the brewing to the beer at the end of the process. Now here's our 6-month timeline. For the first 2 months, we will begin testing recipes. We will begin finding a suitable warehouse space to test on a larger scale, and we'll begin licensing and permit paperwork for the production and sales of alcohol. We want to get that started as soon as possible, as it takes time to complete. For months 3 and 4, we will continue research and development to come up with recipes and to narrow down our initial lineup. As Chris mentioned before, most likely the red IPA. We begin starting to look into microbiologists and engineers for the non-alcoholic recipes, and hopefully by the end of month 4, we would have chosen a warehouse location that meets our needs. Months 5 and 6, we'll finish our recipe selection process for now. Obviously, we will need to roll out with new recipes down the line. Hopefully by this point, we will be settling into our new warehouse space to be ready for scaling. And obviously, we would need to hire brewers to take over the brewing process and allow us to focus on the business aspect. To wrap things up, our dream is to be the first highly sustainable craft brewery to offer both regular and non-alcoholic versions of each of our recipes. In order to reach these goals, we're asking for a $150,000 loan to be paid off over 4 years with a 1-year grace period. Thank you once again for taking the time to listen to our business plan, and cheers.